our audition, which is orientation. My name is Dr. Sylvester, and I'm from the CEO of CyberRoot International Limited, and I want to welcome everyone here again. So the essence of this particular training is just for us to be able to upskill our skill, so that at least we can be part of people that will bring change into our society, that will bring changes into our systems, into our organization. So that is the essence of why we are here, and that's why. And I want you to feel free for us to be able to share information. This is also an area where you can also network yourself here, not only because you are here for the skill, but at least for you to be able to share more of your ideas with other of your colleagues. So that is the more reason why also you are here. And I believe we can make the changes in our society. We can make the change we deserve. So please and please, whatever things you don't understand, quickly refer me or you ask questions. And so that is part of how we can learn, and that is how we will be able to share ideas. In this training, we will be giving you different kind of assignments, and I believe we've made mention of it yesterday when we were doing the orientation, that the assignment must be submitted before the next class. So at least just for us to be able to identify most of our challenges and so many other things like that. So today we'll be dive. We don't want to go much into what we have today, but at least we have to start something. Please, if I may ask your us now, please, this question is very, very important, for us to be able to we have interest in the becoming a penetration tester. So come on, let's have your view from your own perspective now. So you can write on the message. So why do you want to become a penetration tester? So you can just write it on your as a message. So quickly, within just 5 minutes, let's hear from us. Thank you. Interesting. That's interesting. To be almost cybersecurity professional, penetrate testing skill is highly needed. Wow, that's wonderful. To gain an added knowledge. Oh, good, 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 good. Okay. That's nice. To protect the confidentiality, integrity, availability of data and information in an offensive way. Being a bad guy in a good way. That's good, Samuel. And OS again, we have to protect the organization for data breaches and safeguard and privacy. That's good. To act NASA. Oh, that is crazy. So hack NASA, or you really want to hack NASA, or so hope you know what it entails for us for you to just hack NASA. Okay, that's good. That's yours. That's great one. To know the security levels of the system. That's great, Raj. Also passionate about pen testing. Good. That's great. This is lovely. This is lovely. This is lovely. So wow. I'm cybersecurity fresher, and my goal is to make professional security expert. Oh, good man. We also have Mohammed to secure our assets. Great one, great one. That's great. That's great. So that's great. And to secure our assets. That's great. That's great. Oh, thank you very much. Quickly, without waste much of our time, let's try to go to today's training. And today we'll be looking at basic fundamentals of cybersecurity, because I believe many of us might have heard about this cybersecurity of a thing. And some of us are not novice when it comes to this. Most of us are not novice, but at least we have to get ourselves aware of certain things that we need to we need to know. If you can see my slide, please quickly. You can see my slide. Hope you can see my slide now. Please, if you can see my slide, please let me know. Can you see my slide, please? From the message side, you can indicate you see the slide. So if you can see my slides, quickly let me know from your message. Oh, thank you, Mr. Victor. So it's possible. So now we are looking at introduction to ethical hacking. That's why I said many of us have heard much about cybersecurity. Many of us might have heard about information security, system security, network securities, and so on and so forth. So, but basically, we need to understand deeper and deeper because this is one of the critical things that as far as you think you are defending an organization, you must know reason why you are defending. You must know why this particular thing is very, very important. You must know reason why you are defending it, and you must know some of those attacks, the breaches that can occur during and after your assets, who are after your assets. Also, you must be able to identify those things. So quickly, we are going to look at some of the introductory to this. So what are the essence? What will you learn from this particular topic today? One of the things you need to learn is about one, you have to know what is the information security concepts, what is it, what does it mean? And also you should be able to know some of the methodology that you can hack into the systems or an hacker can use to hack into your system. You can also we also look at the concept of the scope, of ethical hacking, and also we also should be able to explain the concept and different classes of hackers we have in the world today. So we have various, but at least through this period, you should be able to identify some of those ones. Where do you belong to as an analyst or as an hacker or as a white hacker, black hacker or gray hacker? You should be able to know where you belong to. And also, you also should be able to most of those techniques that are used by the security professional, you should be able also to be able to understand it. And also, the last one is you should be able to explain the importance of acceptability security laws and standard, because this is very, very important. You might see some of those banks now, you might see what is going on in the world. You must be able to understand the law that guides you to do whatever you want to do. Either you are a hacker or either you are a criminal or you are a defender. You should be able to know which law that make you to that can back you up. You should be able to learn that. So that's the major objective of this particular this one. So beginning from it, we are looking at the what are the elements of information security. What is information security? Sometimes you ask yourself, what is information security? This is just a way forward, and information security is just the ways of securing your information. So many of your information can be your data, can be your system, can be anything that related to your assets. And those are what we call your information security. So just a state of being well-beings of your informations and infrastructure, in which the possibility of thief, temperance, and destruction of formations as services is low or tolerant. That is, you can tolerate it. It is very, very low. And these are just what the meanings of information security. So, and we have this particular thing, what we call element of information security. One of it is what confidentiality. And I see many people made mentions of confidentiality, availability, and integrity the other time. All these are the major elements of information security, because this is very, very important when you are talking about information gathering or information in anything. So confidentiality, you believe that this assurance that the information is accessible only to the authorized user. It is what mean by what that confidentiality. We also have integrity, we have the availability, we have the authenticity, and we have the non-reproducibility. Non-reproducibility was added because many people deny that they were not the responsible for any information, for any action they took in any organization. So the essence of it is just for them to put their signature, so that at least people will be able to understand that you are the right person. You are the individual that performed that particular action. So, and that is why no repudiarism was added to the element. So also, we also need to look at the motive, goals, and objective of information security attack. Every criminals, either you're a thief, either you're a defender, either you are a whatsoever, every criminals, they have what we call motive. You as a what as someone that want to defend the organization, someone that want to secure the organization, you have a motive, and part of your motive is just for you to secure the organization's assets. While others, as a criminal is his own is just to get to the organizations and steal every necessary thing that belongs to that organization. That is their own motive. So that is why it is very, very important for you to understand what is your motive. Why are you doing this? Why are you going to this particular art? If a thief wants to go to bank to go and steal, the whole motive, the major motive of every thief is just to get something out of that bank, especially money, financial issue. So you must know your motive. And as you can see, we can see something like attacks here now. You can see attack equal to motive, that is your goals. Why, for example, I was asking you why penetrating testing the other time. Some people are saying, oh, just to defend, just to do this, and also. So, the same thing. When you are talking about the attack, you are talking about, one, you must have the motive. Secondly, you have the method, that is the methodology you are going to use to get what you want. And also the vulnerability you are going to be you are going to the vulnerability that you'll be using to get into that system. So that is just the major the motive, the goals, and the objective of information security. So that is just the major. So we have the major motive. One, the motive behind every information security attack, one, is either because of money. Some people are just there just to disrupt business continuity. Another set of people are there just so to get to have fame. I just want to have fame. I just want to know that I am just big and big. I'm doing this. So another one is causing financial loss to the target, that is to the organization. So that is the major why other people are there. And also there are a lot of other people that their own is just to take a revenge of what is the revenge. So that is just the other motive of other people. And we also have what propagating the religions or political belief. That's also the essence of why other people that's the motive behind every attack. Some people just want to destroy the organization. So that we have different motives. So that is why you have to pick a very good motive as you are embarking on this journey. So, and I will always advise people, you have to have the motive that this is what you want to do. So it's not that you get this particular knowledge, you get this skill, it's just you now begin to use it to raise, or you now begin to use it as a criminal. It is very, very offensive. So, and I always that's why I always advise people to get in touch with a very good one. So, and after that, we are looking at the classification. So, what are the classifications of attack? We have what we call passive attacks. We have active attacks. We have charge in attack. We have insider attack. We have distributed attack. All these things are just examples. When you're talking about the passive, we are talking about the that is the attack that involve intercepting and monitoring of network. That is the kind of passive attack. So part of it, what the examples of it is what we call footprinting. You can see the footprinting or gatherings of information, so sniffing or infiltrating, network traffic analysis, and decryptions of weakly encrypted traffic. So all these are examples of passive attack. So we also have what we call active attack. Active attack also is kind of denials of service. Examples of denials of service, when we are bypassing protecting mechanism, the firewall, the profiling, the spoofing attack, the replay attack, password based attacks, session hijacking, SSE, SSE, SQL injection. So all these things are just examples of what of active because you are doing it the right there. So we also have what we call closing attack. So closing attack is just examples of it is social engineering. You know what social engineering is all about. So that is just one examples of closing attack. So we also have insider attack. We should always believe that insider attack is one of the critical things that you should always be aware of. In anything you are doing as a defender, you should always don't trust every individual you see. Insider attack, there's no way you can bypass insider attack because they are the major criminal in every organization. So, you should always do your things as whom you are, not as who you people are. When you are attaching many people to your security, it's very, very dangerous. So, and that is why you have to be very, very vigilant, whatever you are doing, especially the insider attack. So we have that, those are the various attacks we have in our. We also have distribution denials of distributions attack. So this is also a kind of modification of software. And you can modify the software production, maybe during the production, so you can modify it. So those are the examples of distributors attack. So yes, we also need to look at methodology. We've discussed about this particular one. I've made mentions of it. Methodology is just the way. So what are the method that you're using for these particular things for you to be able to achieve your aims and objective? Like we made mention, like I said about the motive, you have to have the kind of method placed on ground that this is how I'm going to use. This is how I want to achieve my aims and my goal. Part of those methodology is footprinting. We are starting with footprinting. Footprinting is just the gathering of information from one point to another, either from maybe you use a passive reconnaissance or you use an active reconnaissance. So it depends on the one you use. So that is what we mean by footprinting. So we also have what we call scanning. Scanning also is another method you can use to scan all networks. It might be a network, it might be a system. So it depends on what exactly you want to do. So that's another method. So another method we could say is what we call enumeration. So is enumeration. So enumeration also is another part that you can use to get what you really want. And also another one, which is vulnerability analysis. So, and yeah, thank God, this is part of why we are here today, which is vulnerability analysis. As you can see from this now, you can see that, it involves a lot of activities that you need to do before you can go the vulnerability analysis, before you can do vulnerability analysis in any organization. So the next one is what hacking the system. You can see now here now that this is hacking the system. So hacking the system, it involves you to gain access to the system or to the network. That is the first things you need to get here. And if we are gaining an asset, that means you are cracking a password and you are doing a vulnerability explanation. So that is what you are doing as at that time. So, and after you have gained the access, the next thing you need to do is just escalating privilege, and that is when you make yourself a super user. You make yourself to be an admin of an organization. So that means you have escalated the privilege. So that's what you can say from here. And the next thing is just for you to maintain access to the information that you have already have access to. So you keep on maintaining the access. You don't allow anybody to block you from that. And that is also another part of what you do. During the gaining of access, you can see what we call execution application. So you can execute as any application. You can do anything on the application. Also, you can also hide the application. You can delete the application. Whatsoever thing you can do. So also you also need to the next thing is just for you to clear the log. What do you mean by clear the log? Is just that okay, you are covering your track and because you want to know that so you want to clear your track. That is, you don't want anybody to know maybe you are there, and that is why sometimes clearing your track means that you are deleting every necessary step you have taken. You are deleting everything you have done during the process of your accessing, gaining accessing, escalating privilege, and gaining access to that information. So that is the essence of why the methodology is very, very important for you to know. We have we have like almost 5 stages that you have to undertake. The first one is footprinting, which is reconnaissance. The second one is the scanning network. We have enumeration, we have vulnerability analysis, we have the system hacking, and so on and so forth. So you must understand all this methodology because it's very, very important for you to have access to all the information. So that is the methodology we are talking about. So, before the Sabbath Keychain is not part of it, but it was added. This is version 12, CH. It was now added to it as a part of what we need to understand. We need to know, and we need to understand clearly. you know Cyber kitchen is just a process of you getting what you want from that organizations, weaponization. So that's when we are talking about reconnaissance, gatherings of information, weaponizations, creating a kind of a malicious code. And also we are looking at the exploitations and also delivery method. How do you want to deliver it? You can deliver it through any of your social media. You can deliver it through social engineering and so on and so forth. And okay, and other things that is there is the exploitation. We also have what we call the exploitations. We have installation. So after you have exploited the mode, the ways where you want to do it, so the essence is just for you to be able to install it, and you can see installation there. Now, after you are able to successfully install the virus you created or the bug you created. So you can now have the command, you can now have the access to the system. So when you have access to it, that's when you can do you can achieve your aim. And that is why your motive come into a play. And that is why you need to understand this question, how it moves, and how you are able to achieve your motive or your objective. So, and that is why this one come into a play. Okay. So after we might have got you have got the whole scenario, the whole issues. We have to look at what we call tactics, techniques, and procedure. What tactics is simply means that just a guideline that describe the way an attack perform an attack from the beginning to the very end. That is what I mean by tactics. From your beginning, how you start gathering your information to the very last one, how you clear your track, your logs, and so on, other thing. So that is your tactics. Also, we need to look at the techniques, and techniques is just the methodology you use to achieve your aims and objective. Also the procedure, how did you do it? What procedure, what process did you use? What organization approach did you use to achieve your aim? And that is why made mention, we call it tactics, techniques, and procedure. So all these things has to be understood by you before you can be able to say, oh, you are a very good analyst, you are a very good vulnerability analyst, you are very good ethical hackers, and so on and so forth. Or even if you want to become a bad guy also, because you must be able to specify all these things before you can become a very good one. So we also have what we call meta attack frameworks. Uh, every criminals have a frameworks. Yeah, there are a lot of frameworks that's been placed on ground that we need to follow as a good guy or a bad guy. Part of it is just MITRE ATT&CK framework. MITRE ATT&CK framework is a globally accessed knowledge base of adversary tactics and techniques. So it's a global one. So it's not something you can change. It's not something you can change. It's just the fact that something has happened before. What are the techniques they use? What are the procedures they use at that time? What challenges do they face as at that time? That is just the meanings of MITRE ATT&CK frameworks. It gives you just a kind of knowledge. It's a knowledge-based zones that give you every method, every techniques, every tactics that you can use or that someone has used before, and a possible solution for it. So that's just the essence of MITRE ATT&CK. So you can check more of this MITRE ATT&CK from their website. Register there, you do some a little bit configurations there. So in enterprises, there are some of the taxes that we can see. Part of the static, we made mentions of reconnaissance, and reconnaissance is just the gatherings of information, resources development, and initial access. So we also have execution, persistence, privilege escalations, and so on and so forth. So we have them variously. So by the time you get into MITRE ATT&CK, you can read more of MITRE ATT&CKs on their website. So as we also see MITRE ATT&CKs, we also see the text, the chains, which is the key chains. We also have what we call diamond models of intrusions. This is also is very, very important to us as we look at it. So this also deal with the adversary, that is the opponent, who does it, who is behind the attacks, who is behind the attack. We also look at the victims, also talk about the victims, so who was involved, and where was that happened. So, and also we also look at the capability, and we're talking about the capability, that's when we're talking about how the attack was performed, and infrastructure, where or what the adversary used to reach the victim. So we have different, which is W2 and H. We have who perform it. We have where did they perform the attack? We have how does it perform the attack, and what does it use to perform the attack? So these are just the 4 models that involve in diamond models. When an attacker wants to attack every organization or every resources in any organization. So this material, I'm going to make it available for you. So that is what we may understand by just a little bit introduction to information security. So now the issue is what is hacking. I believe many of us might have hacked in one way or the other. Many of us might have hacked. For example, when your mommy keep our phones, or your daddy keep our phone, you went in there, you took the phone, you unlocked the phone, you have already hacked. Okay. My son will always use my phone. When he uses my phone, he will always look at me whenever I made my my pin. Each time you always check. He got it one day. Just he said, "Daddy, I knew your pin." I said, "How did you go to know my pin?" He said, "I studied you. That's why I got to know your pin." So I said, "Okay, that's me. You have done something wrong." He said, "Yeah, Daddy," I said, he said he didn't do anything wrong. I said, "You have done wrong. That's what we mean by hacking. You have already hacked me." Okay. So the guy was even laughing. So many of us will have done a lot of things like that. You might be in the, it's not really key, but in one way or the other, you have hacked. So what does you understand? What do you understand by this particular title called hacking? It's just ways of exploring system vulnerability and compromise security control. Like what I said, my son does it. Many of us have done it before. So it's just a way you might look at it. There's something bad in it. You might look at it, there's nothing bad in it, but there is always something that is bad. So hacking is bad. So it involves modify systems. So you can change the daddy's password, you can change mommy's password, you can take your mommy's email address and change every details. You can change your mommy's ATM card and so on and so forth. All these things are just a form of what? Of hacking. So and the essence of why you are hacking is just for you to be able to steal one thing or the other. That is just the essence. That's just the motive of you changing, of you hacking. So that is just the meanings of hacking. So who is an hacker? You know, who is an hacker? I've made mentions of something a few times now. That's, many of us are hacker. You were being given some things. You are not given an authorized to do something, and you did it. Is you have become an hacker in one way or the other. So, who is an hacker? So an hacker is a person who break into a system or a network without authorization to destroy. That is number one. To steal sensitive data, or to perform malicious attack. We can see that there is different three type of things there. And when you look at your Bible very well, also you realize that when Jesus Christ was talking about devil came to steal, to kill, and to destroy. This is the major three things that is there. And when you look at this thing, also you can see that there is also three major things that you can see from this facts. Wow, which is one of it is one is just what to destroy, to steal, and to perform a malicious attack. Malicious attack is just for you to kill anything. They don't want to, an hacker don't want to know maybe you are innocent or maybe you are not innocent. So you don't want to know, you don't want you to know about it. So the essence of it, that is the major three reason why an hacker always comes to play. Okay. So we have different classes of hackers, in which I believe many of us might have been aware about this. We have what we call black hacker, we have white, we have gray, we have skeleton, we have a kitty, we have a kitty one, we have a cyber terrorism, we have a state sponsor, we have acadism. So we have different, but majorly, people always consider three, which is the white, black, and gray. They always consider the three as a major terrible one that we have in those ones. So, but we have a lot, we have a lot. So as you can see, we have about almost 13 of them. So, all these things are just the classes of an hacker. So in which I believe you are going to read more about those ones. So, and now, we have discussed about these hacking tools now. So what is an ethical hacking? So, and that is why you as a person, as a vulnerability analyst, you as a system analyst, as a security analyst, as information professional, the essence of why also you are also here, just for you to learn some of those ethical things, you need to keep doing when it comes to issues of information gathering or information storage. So what is an ethical hacking? You can say it involves the use of hacking tools, tricks, and technology to identify vulnerabilities and ensure system security. So, that is the major reason, that is the major essence of ethical hacking. So, it's just for you to be able to protect it, to identify it. You are the essence of identify a vulnerability is just for you to for an hacker not to get access to it, and that is the one thing. And secondly, you also have to ensure that system security. So that is another part that you must understand, that it has to be focused. You have to focus your attention much on, because every organization that employ you want to know that our system, are they secure, our domain, are they secure, our network, are they secure. So you need to go to understand all these points, because that is what will give you much more above other individual in your organization. So why is the ethical hacking is very necessary? From the perspective of being security individual, you should be aware that this is very, very important. One is just for you to protect your organization, to protect the integrity, to protect the informations, to also safeguard the customers' data, and also enhance security awareness. Security awareness is not really common in Nigeria now, but thank God to Sishan, they have been trying as best as their own best to make it come to reality. So all this is major reason why it is very, very important for you to know that why the ethical hacking is very, very compulsory for you in any organization. We also have the scope, we have the limitation when it comes to issues of cybersecurity, ethical hacking. One, we have the scope. Part of the scope is just ethical hacking is crucial component of risk measurement, audit, counter fraud, and information system security best practice. That is the number one thing. When you are now looking at it in another way around, there is always a limitation for every organization, for everything you do in any organization. What about if you want to do something in the organization and your boss said no? That is another limitation ahead, because many of those leaders, many of them might not know what you know. And if you are asking them that, oh God, this is a good things that for us to do, they will be asking you, what do you know? What do you know? What do you understand? So, is also another limitation that you must be able to fight against. You must be able to know that this limitation, and you know how to solve the limitation. So also you need to understand the security system very well. It's also another important thing. So you have to play the risk safeguard on the network. That's very, very crucial for you to be able to know. So what are the skills you must have? Many of us might be wondering that, what skills do I need to have to become a system analyst, to become a vulnerability analyst, to become a ethical hacker, or to become a cybersecurity professional? Those skills are very, very important. To understand those skills very well. One, you have to have the technical skill, and technical skill, that's when you have to understand the in-depth, that is the intricate of your informations that you have. You must understand the operating systems, how it's works, most especially Kali Linux, because Kali Linux is one of the major tools that you'll be using during this course. It's not something that you can be putting one way or the other. No, is one of the key aspects that you must understand how the operating systems work. You must understand the networking, which is the concept of networking. You must understand computer. When I did the exam of CSU, I was wondering, do I even need it? By the time I began to do the exam, I now realized, during the training, I realized that I need it more than another individual. So, you also have to have the knowledge of security areas and related issues. So, highly technical knowledge is also needed, is also needed in every area. So you must be versatile, most especially the areas of operating system, in areas of networking, and the areas of computer system. So you must be a little bit vast in those areas. So there are some also non-technical skills you must have. You must have, one, the ability to learn, and that is why most of us are here today. One, you must have the ability to learn and a strong determination that you must achieve something. So that's another thing. So also you must also be committed, even the assignment, the everything. So you must also be committed to organization security policy. It's very, very important, because when you're working with organizations and you don't understand how the organization works, how the organization runs, it's become an issue even to you as the staff of that organization. So you must understand, read about the policies. It's very, very important. And also, you also need to be aware of your local policy that you have. In Nigeria, we have what we call data privacy. We have data privacy. In some others, in some organization like Earth, we have iPad, we have data privacy. We have different kind of all those local laws. You must be aware about those local laws. It's very, very important. So those are the non-technical skills skills that you must have. Nobody is expecting you to have all skills, but through your dedication, through your strong determination, so you can have more, you can begin to have more knowledge or more skills to yourself. So yes, we also need to discuss about this security defend in depth. Defend in depth is very, very important for you to know. How do I defend to the very depth end? How do I defend my territory? How do I defend my network? How do I defend my software that I just built? How will I defend my organization from being prone to breaching and so on? So you must understand from the beginning, from the scratch, what matter most is your data. You are building the security on your data, and that is why you can say from this one now, your data is stored on this system. So this is your system, and every of your data is being stored on all the system, maybe come over, maybe your phones, your laptop, your desktops, and so on and so forth. So, and it is on this particular data you are building applications on. You are building application. So the host, the network, which is the internal network, we have the perimeter, we have the physical, we have the policy, procedures, and awareness. So all this means that you are defending to the very depth end. So that is just the you is a know that, for example, maybe you have your system one, that when you have your system, you save all your documents, you save all your data in that system. You now look at it that it is good for me to secure, you password your system. When you password your system, you use a very genuine antivirus. You use two-factor authentications. You build a fence around your organizations. That is the first physical. What you can see as a physical one. Also, you can also look at the policy, procedures, and awareness. Also, is also added to it. That means that you are trying as much as possible to defend to the very end that your organization is a bridge of security breach. So we also need to look at the risk. Every organization is always at the risk. That is no doubt about that. Every organization is always at the risk. And part of the risk you are taking in every organization. So we can say from the fact that, if I begin to ask us what is meant by risk and this and that, we have a lot to talk about. But, preferably is just uncertainty, something that we don't expect, that is the adverse effect of a decision that we make. So that's what I mean by risk. Many people risk their life, many people risk their future, and that is why you can see most guys now, they go into Bet Niger, why many of them will put all their last coins on it because they just want to risk something. And when they raise, either they lost or they gain. So that's just the meanings of risk. So, in security also, there's always a risk that's involved, that you need to understand. So you can see the risk level, you can see the risk matrices here. And by the time you look at it, you'll be able to understand. Look at this relationship between the risk, the threat, the vulnerability, and the impact as follows. So you can see the risk now. Risk is just the meanings of threats plus vulnerability plus impact. That is how to define your risk. What do you mean by the threat? Threat is an actor. Why? Okay. And vulnerability, that is what he was able to use to get what he wants. We have the impact. What is the impact? The impact is just after the threat has used the loopholes that he got. The impact can be severe. It can be high impact, it can be low, and it can be medium. So it depends on the risk level that you have. You can also see this place now. Also, risk is also a threat multiplied by vulnerability multiplied by asset value. And you can see from this part that, you can see the probability, that is a risk matrix. You can see the livelihood. We can see the consequences. So the consequence can be high, it can be low, it depends. So, the risk level also, we can see the risk level. The risk level is just the consequence plus the likelihood. that is just the action. That is the action you take, is just the risk level. You can see the risk level now. We have the high, we have the medium, and we have the low. The consequence, when something is consequence is high, you should know that it is very, very serious. It require urgent, very urgent. It is very dangerous to your organization. So the action here is that it require immediate attention. Because this thing can pose a lot into your organization. So that is why also you have to need it. So we also, when the risk level is medium, one, that is, it's a little bit moderate danger, but it also require an urgency. So meaning that you have to implement control immediately just for you to be able to reduce. But when it is low, is neglect, those very dangerous, you can neglect it. But for your own security risk, it is better for you to take a preventive steps, in order to mitigate those ones. So, and this one can be in form of maybe like installing your antivirus, and you do your two-factor authentications and so on and so forth. So that's what I mean by risk level. So when you are now talking about the matrix, so that is just the scale. Looking at the matrix now, this is the probability that, when it is, look at the probabilities here, and you look at the consequence, when it is 80, 81 to 100, it is very, very, the high probability, have a high probability, and insignificant, you cannot neglect it. So it's something that is extremely, which is major, and severe, extremely, which is high. So you need to take immediate action when it comes to this one. So you can also see the probability, which is 60 to 80, which is high probability. Low, you can see the significance, see the minor, see the moderate, see the major, and see the severe. Also, is also very, so all to 1 to like 20. When you're now still like 1 to 20%, you saw that it's very, very low. So it might require less, a little bit urgency in it. So, risk management, how did you be able to cure this particular, what we call the risk management? How will you be able to prevent risk management? One of it is, you have to identify the risk. It's very important for you to identify the risk. That is the first things you need to do. Identify the risk. Get it, where it comes from. How does it happen? So you have to identify the risk. Secondly, you have to risk assessments. You need to do what we call risk assessments of the organization. So, you have to assess the organization risk. It's very, very important for you to do that. And also you need to look at the risk treatment. What kind of things, what will I use to treat it? That is, you have to select and implement an appropriate control measure for it. And also you have to after you have done all this, you have to keep tracking the risk. How does it go again? If it has happened before, you keep monitoring it. So that is what I mean by tracking. And also you have to review it. It might be you or your boss might say, oh, we have to keep on reviewing it every month, maybe every days or every weeks or every. So it depends on your possibility of ways of reviewing it. So it's now depend on the organization. So those are the major ways. These are the major 5 ways in which you can do your risk management process. So yes, cyber threat intelligence is. So we also need to discuss about cyber threat intelligence here. So what does it understand? What do we understand by this? What do you understand by this is just a ways of collecting, analyzing informations about threats. That is meant by what cyber threat intelligence. You have to look at what we call collect the data, monitor the data, check the adversary effect, check what he has done, check the probability that the attack occurs, and so on and so forth. So that's meant by what cyber threat intelligence. So, and this type of things can be strategies, can be tactical, can be operational, and can be technical. So these are the major 4 types of the intelligence that we can get. And where do you get your intelligence? Where do you get your information? One, you can get it from open source intelligence. So you can also get it from public. You can get it from private. You can get it from the organization. So it depends on how you get it, and that is how the strategies, some of those strategies comes in. So how, the tactical, what do you use, the operational, how does it work, the technical part of it, that communicate to the SOC and all the people. So, and these are the ways in which you can call your threat intelligence. So you still need to read much about the threat intelligence, but I'm going to give you that one. So we'll also need to discuss about threat modeling. We might not be able to finish this today, but after today, I'm going to release, like I said, I'm going to release these things for you, so you to be able to read more of it. So we also have what we call threat modeling. So we discussed about some of those model the other time. So yes, artificial intelligence also play a very good role, a good role when it's in cyber security, in information security now. Because many artificial intelligence build now, they are now using it for different hacking. It has played a very good role, even to security. And also, there was a day I was try to beat a ChatGPT that I wrote a very long story that it should help me to analyze. But it was telling me I tried to do what we call reconnaissance through that particular post, but it was telling me that, oh, sorry, I can't get access to it. So just to tell you that they said it's beyond the security, is a security breach. Can you just imagine? So you should know that in the role of artificial intelligence, machine learning in cybersecurity is something that you cannot overrule. So when you are talking about, you realize that they are very, very important when it comes to issues of security. You can't beat them. So how do artificial intelligence and machine learning prevent cyber attack? That's one I've already made mentions of one. Another thing we could see is also it protect password and authentication. So then I was trying as much as to just to authenticate it as at that time, but it was giving me wrong things that it's not something I can do. And also it protect phishing attacks. Also detect threats. It can detect threats. Vulnerability management can help you to get vulnerability. It can also help you behavior analytics, network security, artificial-based antiviral, fraud detection, botnet detection. Artificial can combat all thefts. So it's they play a very long role in cybersecurity. So that means there's nothing you cannot hide. You can't hide away from it. So it's very, very important for you to be able to understand this thing. So lastly, we are going to the law, information security laws and standards. So, I've already talked about this. You need to understand the information security law, both your local and international. It is very important for you to be able to understand all this standard and this thing. So, but one of the things we need to understand is our payment card industry data security standard, which is PCI DSS. So, why is this thing? Why was it built? You can see many bank produce ATM. They produce different card, Mastercard, VAV, and international card. So they produce a lot of cards. So what's really guide them? Which law guide them in producing all this information? So what law guide them? And part of the law that guide them is what we call Payment Card Industry Data Privacy Security Standard, which is PCI. And the essence of this is what is one, to build and maintain a security network, protect cardholder information, and also maintain a vulnerability management program. So, all these are just the reason why this particular PCI is what is being created. So we also have what we call ISO. ISO also is another law that you need to understand, the another establishment that you need to understand. So what they do is just for them to regulate, the establishing and implementation, maintenance, and continue improving the information security. So that is their major essence. You can see from this that many people might be saying, oh, I just want to go and read ISO and ISC, which is 27001, and so on and so forth. So all these things are just to mitigate threats in organizations and so on and so forth. forth. So we also have what we call IPAS. I've made mentions of IPAS the other time, which is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This is most basically used in health sector. Today, if you say in all over the world, you could say that the essence of these IPAS is just that they are expecting every health organization to be well equipped in terms of information system, in terms of information security, in terms of caring for the data of their clients, and so on and so forth. So that is just the major essence of this particular IPAS. Okay, we could see that electronic transactions and code set. We can see the privacy rule, we can see the security rule, we can see the national identification requirement and enforcement rule. So all these rules are very, very important. So they make it more important, they make it compulsory for every health insurer. But in Nigeria, it is I can say in Nigeria, there are some of the organizations in health insurance, a health system that doesn't follow. Likewise, in other country in the world. So, but at least every organization should be able to be aware about what IPAS is all about. What are the rules that guide them, and so on and so forth. So we must, as a IT professional, as a system analyst, as a cyber security analyst, as a SOC analyst, you must understand all these facts that every organizations in one way or the other, they have a law to protect their organization. So we also have what we call cyber, which is all SOCs. We also have SOCs. This is mainly happen in US. We can see all these ones. So and also we also have what we call we are Digital Millennium Copyright Act and Federal Information Security Management Act. All these also are also part of security of this thing that we need to. So we also have what we call General Data Protection Regulation. So in Nigeria, we have our data privacy. And the essence of this is that, we before you could say that, loan app in Nigeria have become something else in Nigeria. But today you can see they are barely, hardly will you see them to post individual who owe them online. It's because of what there is a law that bind them not to do so in Nigeria, because they are exposing the information security, they're exposing the data of that individual or that client all online. Some of them will just post the individual that will tag with different things entirely. So, those things shouldn't be happening in a country where there is a general data protection, where there is general data protection. So as far as we have the general data protection, so the rules are those that guide them. So we have general data. So what is the principle behind it? One of this is lawful fairness and transparency. We have the purpose limitations, we have data minimization, accuracy, we have storage limitations. So all these are just the ways in which for you to be able to understand how our general data, how we could share our data, how our information is being shared online, how our information is being shared, even in the office, the right people who are using those data, who is the custodians of my data. All these things have been something that that people should be aware about. So we also have Data Protection Act. We have this too, which is, I think, you have to read more. So cyber law in different countries, we have cyber laws in different countries. We have our own in Nigeria, we have in United States, we have Australia, we have China, we have India, we have Ghana, we have Italy, in different countries of the world. So they have their own laws, that guide them when it comes to cyber law. So, today, like I said, we've discussed much about information system, the methodology, the tax, the chain, the race that we could see that we could face in every organization. So, we can say this is the first things that we need to understand. Who are the attackers? Who are you? We always have a slang that hackers are everywhere. The question is, where are you? So you must be able to understand, you must be able to see where exactly are you. So I just want to say thank you. If you have any questions now, so you can write your questions, so so that at least I can answer within a very short period of time. Okay. So if you have any question, please kindly raise up your hand or you type it there so that I can answer, I can quickly answer you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions now. Feel free. So please quickly take your attendance. Quickly take your attendance from there. I'll post the attendance there. Quickly post, take your attendance. Yes, how could you become a great hacker? Yes, this is just the foundations of you becoming a great hacker. You have to take a very bold step. You have taken that bold step now, that you want to really want to become a very great hacker. So this is the first thing that you need to do, and that is what we are doing presently. You have to take the bold step now. You wish you have taken. So, great hacker, yes. So you can become one of the great hacker by dedicating your time. Your time is most paramount when it comes to issues of you becoming a great hacker. So you can become whatever you want to become. Please feel free. Please kindly fill the attendance sheet. Kindly fill the attendance. I've already posted the attendance on the chat. So if you have any questions, what are the roles of penetrating testing in an organization? Oh, good. Oh, good. So the roles of many of you act as an intermediary between the organizations. If you're between the organization, that's number one. Between the software developers, number two, because many of those software, many of those domain, many of those networks that are vulnerable, you are reliable. That is why you were being given the kind of role in that organization. One, because they are expecting you that they don't want you to. Okay, I'll check it. So they don't want anything to happen to them. So they don't want anything to happen to their informations or uh to their system or to their network. So they are looking for a way for you to be able to see that they want you to get it right so that the thief will not be able to. Okay. Okay, I'm coming. I'll try. So, okay, yeah, let me see. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Yes, no permission. Kindly share again the link of the attendance. Okay, no problem. I'll share with you right away. You should use Google. Yes, programming. Programming is just added advantages you into it. You don't really need programming when it comes to issues of cybersecurity, but it's just an added advantages for you. You have to learn, most especially also programming and also networking. So all these tools are just added advantages to you as a cybersecurity analyst. Okay. Oya kindly ask your questions again, okay? Okay, Wahid, which is the best automated tool for web penetration testing? Sorry a minute, I just want to drop this. I want to drop the I want to drop your uh, so yes, kindly fade that. Okay. Hackers work to strengthen cybersecurity by identifying vulnerability and suggest improvement. Where a pentester primarily focus on finding and exploiting weakness in system network to assess the security. Okay, that's good from Mehdi. Yeah, yeah, thank you. So kindly fill the form now. So do we have any other questions? So I will make this thing available right away. I'll make it available at the platform so that at least you can have access to them. So kindly do your kindly page the assignments and I'll show. Which day we have to write on data time today, right today. So if you please your assignment also will be stored, will be sent to you right here too. Mm-mm. So remain 2 minutes for us to close the remain just 2 minutes to close the attendance. Just 2 minutes. Please quickly fill it. So do we need the materials now? Should I drop the materials here or should drop it at the group? Okay, thank you. Okay. Somebody said can't see the assignments. I think I've dropped it. So this is it. Okay. So, thank you, everyone. I want to stop here now. Thank you. So we meet on Tuesday. So I'll drop the assignment at the group, at the WhatsApp group, so that you can have access to the rates. Okay. So thank you once again. God bless you all.